What's up my friends, I'm Bob. I'm back again with another video. Today we're talking about the difference between a debit card and a credit card and what banks don't really want you to know. Stay tuned. In this video, I want to share a couple things. I want to share the difference, of course, between a debit and a credit card, but there's really important things that you need to know about. There is a way that you can apply a free tool that I'm going to share with you at the end of this video and be able to pay off your credit cards in full every single month and take massive advantage of the cashback rewards benefits. So be sure to stick with me through the entire video. We're going to share some really cool things today. Let's talk about the basics. Okay, debit card, credit card. There's not a whole lot to really get into. The fact is, a debit card is kind of like cash, but it pulls the balance directly out of your checking or savings account. Let's say, for example, you go over to a store, you purchase something on your debit card. As soon as you swipe that debit card, it is pulling money out of either your checking or your savings account, whatever account is tied to that debit card. Now with a credit card, the big difference would be that you have a credit line, and that credit line does not get pulled directly out of your bank account. You can use your credit card for whatever item or service, but you don't have that money get pulled out of your account, which means you have to pay it later. That's where people get tripped up and they find themselves in credit card debt, something that we want to avoid. So while that's a primary difference between a debit card and a credit card, the similarity is a debit card does offer you the same type of protections as a credit card. So for example, you have the ability to have a fraud alert and fraud protection on a debit card, as well as the ability in some cases to dispute any charges that might come in that look a little weird. Which of course, from that perspective, a debit card is certainly a lot better than using cash to pay for things, because cash could simply just get lost. There's two schools of thought as I see it. You have the Dave Ramsey group, right? Which I have been a Dave Ramsey follower for many years, but the Dave Ramsey group says avoid credit cards like the plague. They're gonna bite you, they're gonna get you, they're gonna ruin your life, you're gonna go into debt. Then you have people that say, wait a second, I'm going to take advantage of credit cards to get travel rewards benefits. Do you know that there are people that are traveling all over the world as a result of just using their credit card for their everyday purchases? And let me show you a really cool example. I have an American Express cashback rewards card. So I get cash back when I use my American Express card. And look at this, I have pending rewards dollars of $87.84 that I can cash out right now. And even better yet, look what's pending. What's coming next month is $78.37. Now that might seem like a lot, but really what I'm doing is I'm using my card for my everyday purchases. We're talking groceries, gas, things that I gotta buy anyway. And all I'm doing is I pay it off every month, and then I can take advantage of those cashback rewards. So I'm essentially saving myself some money. Or of course, if you're a big traveler, you can take that, you can apply it toward flights, cruises, or anything in between. Becomes kind of super cool. Here's where we get all tripped up. Did you know, according to lendingtree.com, 42% of Americans during Q2 of 2020 carried a balance on their credit card month over month. That means 32% paid it off every month, and 26% had a card but never really used it, which means they probably used their debit card. The problem with doing that is if you are going to carry a balance on your credit card, the credit cards are going to charge you an interest payment, which means that you're taking your amount of money that you have and you're paying more money just to carry a balance on your credit card. That's not what we want to do. We want to be able to pay it off in full every single month. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I do that. Guaranteed without fail. God forbid if we get laid off or something bad happens where our income stops coming in. Because we did this little trick, we're still able to pay off the credit card in full without fail. There's three key principles though when it comes down to saying we're going to ditch the debit card. Number one is that we're never going to carry a balance on the credit card at all month over month. We're going to pay it off exactly every single month. Number two is we're only going to use the credit card for items and services that we already have in our monthly budget. Like I mentioned earlier, you got groceries, you got gas, and good things like that. That's what we're focused on. And number three, we're going to use the simple tool that I'm going to walk you through today, and I'm going to include it down below in the description underneath the stuff that I recommend. There will be a link, click on it, and you can download this and follow along with me on how to use this simple tool to be able to pay off your credit card every single month and take advantage of those cashback rewards I shared with you, or those trips that you always wanted to save up for. So if you're ready to check out this tool and be able to download it, all I ask, a simple charge, simple price, tap that like button down below this video. It helps the video, it helps this channel. I certainly appreciate when you do that, so give me a like, that's all I ask, and I'm gonna give you this transaction register absolutely free. Okay, so let's hop over to the transaction register. I'm gonna walk you through it step by step. Okay, so once you open this transaction register, using the link down below in the description, this is what you're gonna get. And this is what's cool because this right here, column G, is automatically calculated within Excel. Don't ever touch anything except for the green balance right here at the top. This is gonna be your opening balance that you're gonna use for your everyday transactions. So let's say, for example, I'm actually gonna change this to $1,000, and you'll notice that the balance throughout will automatically update. Right there we go. Now, here's what I do to make sure that I'm taking advantage of the credit cards, and to the point I shared earlier, how I'm able to earn anywhere from $50 to $70 to $80 a month with my cashback rewards on my credit card. So, in my budget, I'm gonna have a couple things that go under this number column. I'm gonna detail them out right here. I use D, and that is for deposits. So anytime I get paid, I use D. DC is when you would use a debit card, but we're gonna slightly outrule that because we don't want to use that anymore. AP is an automatic payment. So if you do have anything that comes out of your bank account automatically, that's what I use the AP for. And then for credit cards, there's two things you could use. You could use CC, and that would indicate credit card. Or in my case, what I do is I use Amex because everything that I use for my cashback rewards is an Amex credit card. So I just type in Amex under number just to make it easier. There we go. Okay, so let's start with some basic. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a simple deposit of 1/1/2021, and we're gonna say it's our normal paycheck, okay? Whatever you wanna put as your description. And then under deposit, we're gonna put $100. So obviously you don't make a whole lot of money, but it's okay. We're gonna budget this out anyway. So here's your first budget item. You're gonna go to work, and because you're going to work, you need to get some gas and stop by a gas station. But instead of using the debit card as you have in the past, you're gonna use your American Express card or whatever credit card you prefer. And then that's how you're purchasing the gas. At the end of the day, or whenever you want, come back to your transaction register, go onto the app of either the credit card or go onto the website of the credit card, look at what it says, because it should have a pending charge from that gas company, and plug it in to the transaction register. Here we go. So I'm gonna type in Amex because that's what I used. Let's say I got gas on 1/3/21, and this is gonna be called gas from, I don't know, where are we getting gas from, guys, these days? I'll just say, geez, I don't know, Shell. Shell's a good gas station, I guess. And then this is where you're gonna put the payment. And let's say you spent $65 on gas. For whatever reason, gas is that expensive. Watch what happens here. It's gonna automatically update your balance from this point forward. Boom. Look at that, 1035, automatically updated. Now, what's cool is that actually is your bank account, right? So even though you haven't paid off your credit card yet, you're making it kind of like a pretend pay on a credit card. And that way you know how much is actually in your account for everyday spending. Then I'm going to say we have an automatic payment on 1/4/21, and let's just say that is your typical mortgage payment, and that's going to be in the total of $800. And again, boom, it updates everything from that point forward. So you can continue to go through here and plug in whatever you want. So I'm going to say another normal paycheck. This time we made $200, and you can see it upgrades there. And then we're going to use our Amex payment again, and this time we're going to get some groceries from your favorite grocery store. And let's say our groceries were a total of $200. So there we go. Now, at the end of the month, when you get your statement from American Express or CitiCard or whatever credit card you have, pull that up and we're gonna balance our checkbook. So how you balance the checkbook is you go on to your credit card statement. So let's say, for example, your credit card statement comes up and it's saying on 1/4 you have on 1/3 you have your Shell gas and it's an amount of $65. Well, that matches perfectly. And then 1/4 your grocery bill, and that's $200. Okay, everything looks great. So what I do is I go through here and I can filter this out if I want to and only select everything that's on my Amex only. And then I can see, okay, well, here's that. And then in this little column, column E, you see the little X. I'm putting an X right here for gas from Shell, as well as the groceries, because that balanced correctly with my current American Express statement. Once the statement is done and I have additional charges, so let me give you an example of that. Let's say, for example, I have an Amex on 2/5/21 for some groceries that were $100. That's actually not on my American Express January statement. So I'm not gonna put an X on that yet, I'll just leave that alone. Then what I do is I look through all of this, I make sure that my current bank account matches my deposit, my automatic payment as well as my second deposit. And then once everything is perfect for the month, I'm going to then take my current statement balance on the American Express card or the credit card and pay it off in full. Because I balanced it with my transaction register to the exact T of everything that was on that statement, I will know that I'm paying it off in full and that I already have the cash because I've been pretending that it was debiting out of my bank account all throughout the month. And then I continue to use this transaction register as we go on in life, and I constantly, every time I get a new statement from my credit card, balance the statement to my transaction register, pay it off in full, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So there's a link down below in the description. Go get yourself that transaction register. I hope it is helpful. It's something I've used now for many years, and it keeps me responsible for my everyday credit card purchases. And then I hope this helped you as well. To be able to take advantage of the credit card benefits without going into debt, but having a guaranteed way to pay off your credit cards because you're treating it as a debit card or as cash as the month goes along. If it was helpful, make sure you tap that like button for me and comment below. Let me know any questions you have, and also what did you find most helpful in today's video? I would love to know. Also, be sure to check out the video. I'll include it on the end screen coming up here in just a moment, to how you can raise your credit score. And guess what? By the way, using this transaction register can indeed help you raise your credit score up, because you're going to take advantage of paying off that credit card in full every single month, which gives you the benefit of having lower credit utilization and great payment history, which definitely impacts your credit score. So check out that video. I'll link it at the end of this video. But until next time, and as always, continue to live your sweet life because you're worth it. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time.